Hello, you absolute legends. In 2022, GoldenEye 007 celebrated its 25th birthday. In that quarter of a century, the speedrunning community has discovered and created a plethora of surprising and sometimes downright genius strategies in order to beat the game quickly. Almost every level has some kind of interesting strategy or technique that the standard player would simply never think of. Sometimes speedrunners throw objects through closed doors, warp through invisible gaps, and complete objectives during the opening cinema. But there is one level that has been played more or less exactly the same since the beginning of time. Dam, the first level of the game on the Secret Agent difficulty, has two objectives: destroy 4 alarms and bungee jump off the dam. The first alarm is placed conveniently on your way to the dam, and the final 3 are placed individually just inside of 3 towers along the dam itself. The world record strategy for destroying the final 3 alarms has been the same for 25 years. Run to a tower, open the door, destroy the alarm, and then repeat 2 more times. It was a simple level using a simple plan, and those that came out on top were simply the ones that could do it better than anyone else. In 2011, the player Mark Rutsu beat Dam on Secret Agent in 1 minute and 16 seconds. This run was undoubtedly one of the greatest speedruns in the game's history. It was near perfect, and it was so good that it would go on to become the longest-lasting world record left standing in the game, as of November 2022. But in the back of everyone's minds was a different strategy that was both known to be possible and known to be faster. It's called the window strat. The principle is simple, and the name kind of gives it away. But the idea is to shoot the alarms through a window and blow them up from further away. This means you don't have to stop moving or open the door. The strategy has been known about since at least the mid-2000s, but interestingly, only a few people have even attempted it. The window strat is simple in principle, but exceedingly difficult and improbable in practice. To pull off the technique would require a miracle, and that is why, despite the strategy being known about for almost 2 decades, it wasn't until just this month that it was finally used to achieve a brand new world record. On the 14th of November, after a grind spanning nearly half a year, the player Carl Magnus Wall achieved a time of 1:15 using the window strat, finally beating GoldenEye's oldest current standing record after 11 years. In this video, we will take a brief look at the history of Dam's Secret Agent and learn why this infamous window strat was so difficult to pull off. Why is it that it took almost 20 years for this fairly simple strategy to be used to achieve a new world record, even though it was known to be faster the entire time? Let's find out. I really hope you enjoy. A big thanks to Ridge for sponsoring this video, and I have to say, if you are still using one of those big, bulky, oversized wallets, it's time to move on. In fact, people are probably laughing at you behind your back when you pull it out in public. What you need is a Ridge wallet, which is not only sleek and looks cool, but is also extremely durable as well. Ridge are so confident in the quality of their wallets that they provide a lifetime warranty. Ridge doesn't just sell wallets either. Check out this really cool key case, which feels much better in your pocket than a bunch of random keys stabbing your leg. Honestly, Ridge products are just cool, and they always have been. Christmas is just 1 month away, and a Ridge wallet or key case is probably the easiest choice of gift you could ever have. And if you go to ridge.com/KyleJobst or click the link in the description, you'll receive up to 40% off until December 22nd. So click the link and pick up one of these bad boys today. Let's go back in time 21 years. In May of 2001, Randy Bukima beat Dam on the Secret Agent difficulty in 1 minute and 20 seconds. This is the oldest world record video we have of this stage, and the strategy would basically remain the same for the next 2 decades. The first of the 4 alarms is easy to destroy. It's directly in the player's path on their way to the dam. The next 3 are a bit more complicated. There are 3 towers along the dam, and each tower houses a single alarm that's visible as soon as you open the door. So players would go to each of the 3 towers in the order they encountered them, open the door, quickly destroy the alarm, and then move on to the next. Between 2001 and 2011, the world record would be lowered numerous times. Brian Bossart achieved 119 in 2003, Dan Chovone achieved 118 in 2005, Ilari Pikala achieved 117 in 2006, and then Mark Ruotsu managed to beat the stage in 1 minute and 16 seconds in 2011. The record wasn't lowered due to a new strategy or new technique, it was purely from an increase in skill. Players learned to play the level far better and started to pay attention to the finer details. For example, previously, players would break strafe to shoot the lock off the gate before the dam, but then players started doing it in full strafe, which is slightly faster. The speed at which players destroyed alarms was also a big factor. In older runs, players would wait a long time before they started shooting after they opened the door. This was so they could fix their aim and make sure they are on target before shooting. But as time went on, people started shooting the moment the alarm became visible. Every single frame that the alarm is visible that you're not shooting is lost potential. Alarms take 5 bullets to destroy, and the speed at which you shoot your gun also plays a large part. One of the things that makes shooting speed a bit more complicated in GoldenEye is the inconsistent frame rate. And because the game can randomly slow down sometimes, the game will eat your inputs if you press the trigger too fast before the weapon has a chance to reset. Shooting at the optimal speed on Damn Secret Agent is incredibly difficult, and when I was playing it, it was by far the hardest thing about the run. You could never tell just by looking at it, it's really something that can only be understood when you play it for yourself. You would be pressing the trigger button at the speed of light, and the bullets will slowly trickle out at a snail's pace. Mark Ruotsu's 116 is undoubtedly one of the greatest world records in the game's history. The way he lined himself up when opening each of the tower doors allowed him to start shooting immediately, and his shots were incredibly fast. It would take 5 years before anyone would match it, with Rayan Isran getting 116 in 2016. Since then, only 2 more players tied 116, but by this time, it was slightly easier because we had found out how to get consistently fast double gates earlier in the level. If you watched my earlier video on Damn for the Agent difficulty, you'll know what I mean. In any case, it seemed like 116 was probably as low as a human could feasibly go. As far as I know, no one has achieved a fully legit 115 fail, and the 116s that exist were likely very high. Without something new, the record would probably remain 116 for a very long time. But there was in fact something new, or rather, something old. An ancient, theoretical strategy that appeared to be the only way to lower this time. All it needed was a hero, a champion that would take on the task of completing the long-fabled window strat. Beside the door on each of the 3 towers is a window. At a tight enough angle, it's possible to shoot through these windows to destroy the alarms inside, without having to open the door. So why then do players open the door instead of just going up to the window? In theory, this might be faster because you don't have to wait for the door to open. Well, in practice, it ends up being slightly slower for a couple of reasons. First, it's a bit more out of the way, and it's much harder to get into position. And second, you have to stay in that spot until the alarm is destroyed, while with the door strategy, you can back up as you shoot it. So it turns out that just running up to the window and destroying the alarm would be slower than simply using the door. But there is another way we can utilize the window that does end up being faster. The angle of the alarm through the window is such that it's possible to see it and shoot it from fairly far down the dam. One of the biggest time losses in the original strategy is that we have to stop to wait for the door to open and also to destroy the alarm. But if we destroyed the alarm while we ran towards the tower, we could avoid stopping entirely. This would be faster, and if done well, it should save around 1 second for each alarm. This isn't news to anyone who plays the game. This strategy has been known about for a long time. All the way back in 2007, there was even a tool-assisted speedrun created using this strategy, which achieved a 112. The obvious question becomes, why wasn't this used to get a new world record, given that it's been known about for at least 15 years? For the window strat, we need to aim at a small target 50 meters away. At this distance, the subtle sway and inconsistency of Bond's aim will make you miss most of the time, even if you are aiming directly at the alarm. Thus, as is the case with many strategies in speedrunning, we must rely on the dreaded variable known as luck. Aiming at small, faraway objects has always been a frustrating challenge in GoldenEye. From shooting faraway cameras on Surface 2 or trying to hit Baron Samedi on Egypt. However, with these examples, you only need one shot to be on target. You can destroy a camera with one bullet, and you can kill Baron with one headshot. On Dam, you needed 5 bullets to destroy an alarm, which made the strategy exponentially more difficult. But then it gets even worse, because when you are further away from the tower, your bullets won't go through the window and hit the alarm inside. This is because, until you get right up to the tower, the inside isn't loaded. The only way to load the inside of the tower early is by destroying the window, which takes 4 bullets. So in total, at minimum, you need 9 bullets to destroy the alarm. And to make matters even worse, the PP7 only holds 7 rounds per clip, so you need to reload. You might ask if you can use the KF7, but unfortunately, it is far too inaccurate to be of any use. This is why no one even tried to use it in a run, but it was used in other ways for fun. For example, in 2011, David Clemens used the strategy to get a time of 1:14. This was using the gold PP7 cheat, however, which lets you destroy alarms with 1 bullet. It did show, though, at the very least, people were aware of the strategy and knew how it worked in theory. David Clemens would go on to test the strategy for real in 2018. He was able to show that it was possible, demonstrating the first example of an alarm being destroyed through the window. But it wouldn't be Clemens that would be the first to use the strategy to get a new personal best. In August of 2019, Fernando Almeida used the window strategy to achieve a 1:17. This is the first time someone successfully used the strategy. Fernando's run was still slower than Mark's world record of 1:16 though, and one of the reasons for this is that Fernando used what's called the single window strat. Based on the layout of the towers, there are 2 windows that can be used. These are located on the first and second towers of the dam. The layout of the final tower is reversed, so the strategy can't be used there. As mentioned before, the strategy is about 1 second faster for each alarm, which means you can save up to 2 seconds. But you can also just choose to only use the strategy for a single alarm, and not both. This is far more consistent, allowing you to get the 1 second time save, but it's still very difficult and it's not optimal. In November of 2022, David Clemens would become the second person to successfully use the strategy, achieving a 1:16. This tied Mark's record, but again, he used the single window strat. David's 1:16 with the single window was an extremely good run, and while it may have been theoretically possible to get 1:15 with that strategy, it would likely require both windows to beat Mark's classic record. And if there was one person who was going to do it, it had to be the damn master himself, Carl Magnus Wall. Back in May, I released a video talking about my greatest world record ever, which was a time of 52 seconds on Damn Agent. I also spoke about how Carl Magnus Wall had been trying to match that time for half a year. Well, shortly afterwards, he did achieve 52, and as a quick side note, this was his reaction.
We're waiting the cutscene. Yo, Sterling, what's up? Dude! What? No fucking way, dude! I don't know what to do.
After tying the Agent world record, Carl then tied the 00 Agent record.
6, I think. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, I can't believe it. What the fuck?
At this point, he had all 3 records, but they were all tied, and he wanted to leave his mark on the level forever by setting a new world record. And the double window strat was the perfect opportunity. Carl began his grind in July, and it would take an entire month before he would get both alarms in a single run. You can see by his tally that he had destroyed the first alarm 47 times and the second alarm 30 times before he was able to destroy them both in a single run. But even if you do destroy both alarms, the run is far from over. You still need to destroy the final alarm, which is extremely difficult to do fast. In the ancient strategy, the final alarm was by far the hardest. The alarm is just hard in general, but to do it on a run like this makes it 100 times harder. It took Carl 1 month to get his first chance. The pressure would have been crazy, which made his inevitable choke understandable.
I got both alarms, guys.
Over the next several months, Carl would get a total of 30 runs taking out both alarms, and every single time he couldn't destroy the final alarm. Whether it be from bad bullet spread, low FPS, or just choking and missing the alarm completely. But on the 14th of November, on the 31st potential attempt, Carl Magnus Wall finally achieved this run.
Come on, that was slow, but... Come on, it might be good enough. Nope, it's not. I was so far away from the door. Yeah, I know. Cool last alarm, though. I missed the B press. Never mind. Boom. There we go. No fucking way. Holy shit. I missed the B press. Oh, thank you. Thank you, GoldenEye. Thank you. We are done with Damn for now. Oh, that was it. Oh, thank you. 52% accuracy. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, beautiful. 115. Thank you. Wow. Goodbye, Damn.
After 25 years, the Damn Secret Agent world record has finally said goodbye to its archaic past and has entered the modern era. Almost 2 decades after the double window strat was created, someone actually did it. Sometimes it's new discoveries that lead to amazing new records, but sometimes all it takes is a player having the will and the confidence to take something that was considered too difficult and make it a reality. A huge congratulations to Carl Magnus Wall. Thank you so much for watching, you legends. I hope you are having a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video.